I miss Reactivate. I'm not talking about the game, because it kind of doesn't exist, or didn't exist. We don't know the degree to which it existed. But I missed the subline. I do wish we saw more. But also, really, I miss what Reactivate represented. At least what I thought it represented, what it represented to me. Many people have talked about the exhaustion and burnout over the constant revisiting of G1. I get it. They're the most recognizable, the most bankable. Part of that reason being it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy because they don't ever do anything else. But even when they expand into other things, they're still doing G1. Like Kranix. Kranix looks great. I hear he's fantastic. I'm never going to get him for multiple reasons, but he looks and sounds amazing. But it's still G1. This is the G1 movie. So it's not going outside of G1. But that's not why I miss Reactivate. It's more yes, Reactivate was different aesthetic, familiar characters, but like doing something different with them. And that was really cool. But what I really, really wish came from Reactivate was that experimental, playful, much more unique and interesting approach to engineering. I'm someone who, for me, like aesthetics are a big part of it, but engineering with these toys is huge for me specifically. It's not just a matter of fun or not, it's also a matter of, do they do something really interesting or really clever with any element of the transformation? Because I really like that. I'm someone whose brain has a thing with three-dimensional stuff and like how it moves, how it can shift, how it can be shaped, that kind of thing. I've always kind of been like that. So much of modern Transformers, they're effective, they're clever in some spots, but like most of the figures that have been coming out for the past while aren't mechanically interesting. That's not to say there haven't been any over the years. There's the Prime Viacon, the RID Prime Viacon that had that amazing roll up the entire top of the car into the legs bit, which we actually did see not reused, but like that basic concept came back for Studio Series KSI Widow. And that was great. There were little things like that peppered all throughout. The Unicron trilogy has a number of really interesting figures that transform in really interesting ways. Like Cybertron Sideways, that was really cool. Then they just kind of did the exact same thing, but took out the really interesting part about the midsection kind of folding in on itself for the robot mode and just gave it better articulation. So like that, it's a cool looking figure, but like it's mechanically not any more interesting. It's actually less interesting than the original figure. Cybertron Mudflap, I think it's Cybertron. The way that the truck transforms in a way that is entirely antithetical to the way you expect it to. And we just don't get that often anymore. And that's something that I kind of expected from Reactivate, because we had 4 figures who all did something interesting with their transformations. Not necessarily complex, but like fun and wild and experimental feeling. And I just thought we were going to get more of that as the years went on, but it just kind of settled back into same old, same old. There are little flourishes here and there with certain figures, yes, but like we've never gotten anything like that leg transformation on Reactivate Prime ever since, at least as far as I can recall, where the legs do a 180 with the feet ending up at the base of the cab, which like it's a really simple move, but it's so clever at hiding those feet and incorporating them into the cab. It just baffles me that we've never seen anything like that again. Soundwave, who I maintain, peak. It's the only Reactivate figure I still own at this point. He does that thing where like basically the entire truck mode is his torso. The legs are just tucked up inside and like the rear wheels are kind of in there somewhere, but like for the most part, in terms of just outer shell, it's all in his torso. It's just that those front wheels flip up and the entire cab, the entire truck concertinas into his entire upper body. And that is amazing. Bumblebee had that thing where his bumper would like shift down on an armature and even slide down into place to create a more solid locking point for the torso, but also reshape the front a little bit. Again, not a complex move, but we don't really see that. It's not that I wanted the engineering tricks from Reactivate to become the norm. It's that I wanted the spirit of the engineering of Reactivate to become the norm, where we would see more often than not figures with really interesting and unique, like even just one element in the engineering that was really interesting and unique. And we just haven't had that. And that's what I really miss about it. I really miss that adventurous sense of exploration in the engineering of these different figures. Again, there are always going to be outliers. There's going to be the occasional figure that like wows people with the way its mechanics work, and that's great. But it was 4 for 4 on Reactivate with that thing, with that whole idea. And I just feel like it would have been nice if that sense of whoa happened a little more frequently than once or twice a year with figure releases, if that. Imagine if we had figures like Titan's Return Trigger Happy wowing us all on an engineering level more often. Not all the same tricks, but like similarly wild ideas with the engineering. That would be so cool. That would be so interesting. It would probably even make the G1 fatigue a little bit easier to handle if they at least mechanically did something extremely unique. But I don't know, for whatever reason, that's just not how things have been going lately, and that just kind of bums me out. None of that is to say that stuff is bad for not doing it. It's just, I really miss that. It's something that I think Reactivate did super well, and I was just really hoping that it was an indicator of what was to come, and unfortunately it wasn't. That's what I get for not being in charge of a multi-billion-dollar toy company, I guess. Just wanted to share how I'm feeling about that, because I was looking at my Reactivate Soundwave the other day and just thinking like, man, I wish that engineering ethos kind of stuck around longer. But what do you all think? Because I know a lot of people were impressed by the Reactivate engineering. I mean, am I way off base in this? Because it just does feel like a lot of the figures, as good as they may be, just don't have that engineering magic, that same level of whoa to the way they mechanically function. Whatever your thoughts, feel free to chime in down below. I always enjoy hearing from you all. Thank you everybody for watching, and I don't know, next video should be an actual toy thing, not just me talking at the camera. We'll see.